I'm gonna give you something about the Russia-Ukrainian war that is gonna make all the news make sense. All of this invasion is gonna make sense, and everything that the West is saying is gonna make sense, and everything that Russia is doing is gonna make sense. After months of studying this war, I have come to the conclusion that Ukraine is a secret NATO member. So is Sweden and Finland. They are not officially members, but they are unofficially hidden members. And this is likely very classified information that only the presidents like Zelensky and also Magdalena Andersson and these people know. You see, the Swedish Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson was anti-NATO, then she became Prime Minister. Then all of a sudden, she started being very cocky and hostile towards Russia. It's because she got the intelligence, she got the secret information. Right? That's why you have Russia, US warships in Sweden right now. You see, in Mariupol, Russia is capturing so many foreign soldiers, right? You have seen some of them, this British guy that they put all over the news, right? You're seeing them capturing American Humvees. I've seen them film American Humvees, they are American military vehicles in Mariupol. They are finding NATO equipment, NATO APCs. They are even finding NATO officers and NATO instructors who are evacuating Azovstal steel plant as civilians. And I even looked at the base in western Lviv that Russia destroyed with missiles. And there was a Swedish guy there who talked about his battalion being destroyed, completely destroyed. What a Swedish guy does there. The Foreign Legion. They call it the Foreign Legion, right? I looked at that plant. That's actually a NATO base. So it was a NATO base in Ukraine that Russia destroyed with cruise missiles. And there were Swedish people there, even Dutch soldiers were there. And I looked at internet, I saw a NATO PowerPoint which described the terrain there and how you get to that location. They have conferences, training operations. So the Foreign Legion, have you heard that term, the Foreign Legion? We are not talking about amateur soldiers here. We are talking about very likely covert operations and black operations. So the Foreign Legion, we are talking black ops, covert ops. We are talking Green Berets. We are talking Delta Force. We are talking Navy SEALs. We are talking SAS. We are talking that level of soldiers. Starting to make sense why Russia got trouble when they tried to invade Kharkiv and Kiev. Because they are actually fighting elite soldiers from the West. Right? Starting to make sense why all the generals and colonels on TV, on Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, Swedish news, anti-Russia, oh, we sank a Russian warship. Now, of course, they have elite soldiers there. NATO has elite soldiers there. They have elite snipers. They can never go out with this information, because if they would make it public, then it would be obvious to the world how one large nation, Russia, can challenge the entire NATO. Right? So Sweden and Finland is going to join NATO. That's just, of course they are going to join NATO. They are already members. They're just going to make it public, kind of, so to get the opinion. They already covered hidden members of NATO. Same with Ukraine. That's the other stuff is just public, but in reality, the top-ranking military personnel and the presidents and prime ministers, they already know this, right? So now it's starting to make sense why they ban RT and ban Russian news and these kinds of things. They are at war with NATO. And Ukraine is a secret member, and Russia has likely seen in their satellites and in their intelligence how NATO moves troops in Ukraine. And call it the Foreign Legion. You know, Delta Force, for example, they blend in with the population. That's a part of their tactics. So when Delta Force was in Afghanistan, they got long beard and started dressing like the Afghani people. It's hidden. It's hidden. In reality, they are elite soldiers. Elite soldiers. So yeah, Russia's got a tough fight. They got a very tough fight because they are fighting a covert NATO member. That's why they keep on pouring weapons there. 5,000, 10,000 anti-tank missiles. Now they are sending APCs. They are sending, you know, artillery. They are sending a lot of stuff. It's a NATO member. Hidden one, not an official one.